A board, 2 axles, 4 wheels. You don't need much more to glide down the street this summer. Longboards have larger, softer wheels and a greater distance between axles than skateboards. That makes them more stable. Longboards can be up to 1.5 meters long, much larger than your classic skateboard.
A normal skateboard is shorter and not as comfortable. Riding a longboard is like driving a limousine. I find it more relaxed, whereas I always found skateboarding stressful.
There are more than 20,000 longboarders in Germany these days, and their numbers are growing. The longboard was invented in the 1960s by surfers in California. They simply mounted wheels on their surfboards, making the longboard the first type of board on wheels. But it was soon replaced by smaller versions called skateboards and fell into obscurity. Now, longboarding has been rediscovered.
I have a surfing background, so I started longboarding. When I'm not on the water, I can at least glide down the street. Skateboarding has become more stunt-oriented, and that doesn't interest me as much.
The trend is driving demand and more business as people are discovering the boarding groove. There are now more than 15 companies in Germany that make longboards. A beginner model starts at 150 euros. This past April, 40-inch became the first magazine devoted purely to longboarding to hit the market in Germany. The magazine's editors and longboard manufacturers think the number of boarders will double this summer. One of the pioneers of the scene is Sommer, a former kitesurfing instructor. The 50-year-old has run the online forum Longboards.de for the past 10 years. With 14,000 members, it's the largest German-language longboarding internet community.
The online shop and the forum grew so quickly that I had to move it all out of my apartment. So I decided to open a shop.
For the past 2 years, customers from around the world have visited the shop in Berlin's Wedding district. The scene attracts all ages, from 20-year-olds to 60-somethings. Those new to it all appreciate the sense of security a longboard gives. But Sommer gets his kicks from downhill boarding, like here on a wooded road on Berlin's Teufelsberg Hill. He can hit speeds of up to 130 kilometers an hour.
Some people do Tai Chi, which is a kind of meditation in motion. I do that on the board. I concentrate on what I'm doing and forget everything around me and experience only positive effects. Whether I'm rolling through the city or speeding down a hill.
It's important to have the right equipment: helmet, knee pads, elbow protectors, and padded gloves. Even the German professionals in the discipline of longboard dancing, Peter Markgraf and Nils Knutz, sometimes fall off, no matter how good their sense of balance is.
Falls are a part of it. That can always happen. You have to know that before you start.
Falls aren't inevitable, but they can happen, especially when you're trying new things. So that's why it's important to always wear a helmet.
And in Germany, you have to stay on the sidewalk, although police in Berlin rarely stop longboarders on the road. Other European countries explicitly allow longboarding on the street.
When you get on the board with music in your ears, in the sun, and trying out new tricks, you concentrate on the moment, and it's fantastic.
Smooth asphalt and a slight incline, like in front of Berlin's Olympic Stadium. That's the perfect mix for longboarders.